Hey guys, today I have a book haul to share with you. So let's just get going. I have about 20 books right here that I'd like to share with you guys. Some of them I think I've already read. Have I read some of these? I'm trying to think. I think some of these I've already read or I'm about to read. But yeah, let's get going. 20 books. Let's make this as quick as possible. The first book that I have here, you guys, came into my possession under very unusual circumstances. I think I've probably mentioned this in videos in the past. I work at Cracker Barrel, so there was one day that I went out to the porch at Cracker Barrel where we have like the rocking chairs and the little checkerboard sets and whatnot, and on one of the checkerboard sets was this book, you guys. And the unusual thing about it is that this is a book from the Book Fairies. And yeah, the whole premise of this: take this book, read it, and leave it for the next person to enjoy. And yeah, I think there's several programs out there that do something similar, that they just leave a book somewhere, and they usually have like a little sticker on it that says like what organization it's from. And yeah, the whole premise is to just leave a book somewhere, yeah, and someone will pick it up, read it, and then yeah, your next mission, once you've read the book, you're supposed to do the same and just lay it somewhere random for another reader to pick up. I have not read this book yet though. I found this book, like I said, on the porch of the Cracker Barrel where I work at. I found this months and months ago. I've yet to read the book, unfortunately, but I do plan on, when I'm finished, if I can find a good place to maybe just put it, I'll try and do that. But yeah, it does have like a little sticker here with the Book Fairies organization. It was also wrapped up in a nice little green bow. There's like a little green little ribbon around it, which was kind of cute. But yeah, I mean, that's never happened to me before, because I know that these organizations, I know that they exist, you know, that they just put a book somewhere and you're expected to read it and put it back somewhere else. I've known that they've existed, but I've just never been in a circumstance that I've discovered such a book. So it was just something kind of weird and random, but kind of fun and amusing at the same time. But yeah, the book, I've not even talked about what the book is that I found on the porch of Cracker Barrel, you guys. It is A Season to Dance by Patricia Beale. And yeah, just to kind of read the synopsis really quickly because I can't really remember what it's about. Anna Brassfield has her path to the stage of the Metropolitan Opera House all figured out until her first love, renowned German dancer Klaus Segert, returns to Georgia to win her back. Despite a promising start towards her ballet career and pending marriage to landscape architect Peter Enberg, Anna wonders if her dreams of dancing at the Met are as impossible as her previous romantic relationships with Klaus. So yeah, there's a lot going on here. It's about a ballerina, apparently, and her past loves coming back, and yeah, her dreams to be a dancer, but are her dreams gonna happen? Something like that. It sounds okay. This is normally the type of book I wouldn't pick up normally, but yeah, since I just randomly discovered it, I'll give it a shot. Who knows? I may end up really liking it, you guys. The next set of 6 books that I have all come from the Knickerbocker Classic Collection. Is that what they're called? Yeah, the Knickerbocker Classics Collection. And if you've not heard of this collection of books, it's all classic books, you know, by classic authors, classic books, whatever, novels, pieces of classic literature. And they're all done in like a cloth-bound book. I'm trying to think. They're all like cloth bound is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I got a bunch of these because Barnes & Noble, a couple months ago, they were having some sort of promotion that you buy, what was it, buy one get one free. I swear, I think that's what it was. It was buy one get one free. That's why I have so many of these. So yeah, that's what these next 6 books are. And what I decided to do, because a lot of these are classics that I have already read, but I really love the design of them, and I like that they're cloth bound. They're just really pretty. And why I decided to purchase these, not only because of just how pretty they are, a lot of them are classics that I have read in the past, and I know that I enjoy them, so it's not like I was wasting my money. Plus, I still have a lot of my books from college. And in a lot of them, you know, I would have to make notes and write things down in the margins of the books. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to repurchase some of these classics and get nicer editions than what my college editions were. You know, like I said, my college editions are full of notes and stuff on the margins, and they're kind of all crazy looking. So yeah, I was like, I'm going to purchase some nicer editions and get rid of my college editions. So the first book I have here is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. A beautiful edition here. Okay, this is one I have not read. This is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. I've been dying to read The Picture of Dorian Gray. Even though I've not read it, I'm pretty positive this is a book I'm going to enjoy. I have read Oscar Wilde in the past. I read like The Importance of Being Earnest, and I really like that, so I'm going to assume I'll like this just as much. The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. I freaking love The Scarlet Letter, you guys. I wish more people talked about this book. It's just kind of one of those underrated classics, I feel like, that not enough people talk about. The Time Machine and the Invisible Man by H.G. Wells. Okay, this is a book I've not read either, but I feel fairly confident it's going to be something I enjoy. Dracula by Bram Stoker. Ooh, seriously, I love this edition for Dracula especially. And last, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. And I would seriously like to purchase some more of these Knickerbocker classic editions. Barnes & Noble kind of just had these and then a few others that I wasn't really interested in, because I would love to get like Great Expectations. That's another one of my favorite classics. I might have to order that one online. And you know, I'm regretting, like I said, I got this because the promotion was like buy one get one free, and I'm kind of regretting that I didn't get Frankenstein and Alice in Wonderland. I wish I had got those two. But yeah, the promotion is over now. Maybe they'll have the promotion again and I can get them. Next, I have a book that I won on Goodreads, so thank you very much, Goodreads. This is The Game of Hope by Sandra Gulland? Something like that. And yeah, this is about the stepdaughter of Napoleon Bonaparte. What was her name? Hortense? Hortense? Is that how it's pronounced? Hortense? But yeah, this is her, 15 years old in France in 1798. Yeah, her mother is the beautiful Josephine, who eventually marries Napoleon Bonaparte. Yeah, my understanding, this is like young adult historical fiction. I'm glad I won this. I don't read enough Napoleonic historical fiction, so this should be pretty exciting. Next, Ordeal by Innocence by Agatha Christie. Yes, I need more Agatha Christie in my life, yeah guys. I really love her mysteries. They're so engaging and captivating, and you just never know what the hell to expect with her novels. But yeah, as you can see here, I have the adaptation cover with Bill Nighy and Eleanor Tomlinson. I saw this adaptation many months ago. I really loved and enjoyed it. It was a very good adaptation, I think. So yeah, I wanted to pick up this book. I can't wait to read it. If you don't know what Ordeal by Innocence is about, yeah, just kind of reading the headlines on the book. A man died for a crime he didn't commit, and the murderer is still among them. Ooh. Yeah, what's really interesting about this book, it's kind of this big family drama, family mess. Yeah, one of the siblings is accused of the murder of kind of the mother in the family, but it's kind of the big question, did he kill their mother or not? If not, who is the real murderer? And it is. I watched the adaptation, and I did not know any of the twists or turns or anything. I went into it just blind. Can't wait to see kind of how the book is, you know, if the adaptation, you know, how well the adaptation, how it adapted this book, I guess. Next, Hocus Pocus and the all-new sequel by somebody. I think I always have to look in here. Written by A.W. Jantha? Something like that, you guys. Yeah, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. This book is split into two sections. The first chunk of the book is pretty much just a written version of the Hocus Pocus movie, and then the second half of the book, like it says down here, and the all-new sequel. It's a sequel to Hocus Pocus pretty much, and it follows the children of Max and Allison. Do I have to explain what Hocus Pocus is about? Hocus Pocus is a very classic 90s Halloween movie that was put out by Disney. It's pretty much become a cult classic at this point. People freaking love it, me among them. Yeah, it's about these three women, the Sanderson sisters. They died back in like the 1600s, but then in the present, a boy, he lights up this candle that magically brings them back from the dead. And yeah, the three sisters wreak havoc on this town, and yeah, they're trying to stay young and youthful forever, so they have to kill all the children. So yeah, I love the movie Hocus Pocus. I'm very curious what this book is gonna be like. Next, Fox by Nadine Brandes. I feel like I'm overpronouncing it. I'm not sure. This is a gorgeous cover. You guys, I love this cover. Now, if the book is any good, that's another question. Yeah, just to kind of, let's see, let me kind of give you guys a quick little summary. Well, for starters, it takes place in 17th century London, and it's about a boy who is the son of a Guy Fawkes. If you know anything about history, you know that Guy Fawkes is one of the men involved in the whole gunpowder plot thing to blow up Parliament. This is a very complex story, you guys. I kind of just thought it was some sort of book about the gunpowder plot, but it seems like there's a lot more of a fantasy element to it, which I'm very intrigued about. It is, yeah, I should have expected more because it is young adult. That young adult would spring something more crazy into historical fiction. But yeah, kind of, I don't know, turning Guy Fawkes more into a character, giving him a son. Yeah, fantastical elements with magic or something. I don't know. I'm very curious. Yes, I'm very curious where the hell this book is going. Next, The Race to Save the Romanovs by Helen Rappaport. I freaking love anything with the Romanovs, you guys. You all know that by now. I also love Helen Rappaport's historical nonfiction. She just has such an engaging voice when it comes to historical nonfiction. She makes it full of life and not boring. And yeah, what this book of nonfiction is about, like the title suggests, The Race to Save the Romanovs. And yeah, the little subtitle down here says, The Truth Behind the Secret Plans to Rescue the Russian Imperial Family. That's essentially all this book is about. It's kind of about all these groups that were trying to rescue the Russian imperial family, but ultimately, as we know, they all failed in the end. So I guess this is exploring all of those attempts, all the failures. I'm very excited to read this because I've never read a book kind of focused on this side of things when it comes to the Russian imperial family. Next, a Star Wars book, you guys. This is pretty random. Star Wars, Thrawn, Alliances by Timothy Zahn. And this is actually book 2 in this particular series. I have yet to read this series, but I can't wait to get to it. My sister has already read the series. She's read the first book. She liked it. And then, yeah, right now she's actually in the middle of this book, and she's liking it, I hear. I don't know how many books are supposed to be in this series. I meant to ask her if she knew how many books were supposed to be in here, if it's just 2 or if it's going to be many. Anyway, Thrawn. Thrawn used to be in the old canon of Star Wars books, you know, before Disney bought Star Wars. But yeah, Disney has brought Thrawn back in recent years. He has his own book series now. He's a huge villain. He's been on Star Wars Rebels recently, which is an animated cartoon that Disney has. He's like the main villain antagonist on that cartoon series. I freaking love Thrawn. He's just such a great villain. There's just something really meticulous and calculated about him that just makes him such a great villain, which I appreciate. And yeah, this book especially has me very intrigued because not only is Thrawn on here, but Darth Vader, you guys. That's even more exciting. And next, The Lion and the Rose, a novel of Borges by Kate Quinn. And this is actually book 2 in this series. It is a duology. I have read the first book in the duology, and I've been meaning to pick up this second book for a long time so I can finish it. You know, it's a duology. I should have just bought this book with the other one, so I could have read it, binged it all, but yeah, I finally got the second book. Like I said, it's a novel of the Borgias. This follows Giulia Farnese, who's kind of notorious for being kind of one of the Pope's mistresses back in Renaissance Italy during the late 1400s, correct? Yeah, this is also a book kind of with a bit of a murder mystery twist in it as well. Some very interesting things going on. I really like Giulia Farnese as the heroine of the novel. She's kind of one of those historical women that's kind of pushed to the side on occasion. But yeah, I loved and enjoyed the first book. Can't wait to get to the second one and finish it up. Beast, A Tale of Love and Revenge by Lisa Jensen. And oh boy, you guys, this book has some very bad ratings on the Goodreads. Normally on Goodreads, if a book is rated, in the 3 range, 3, 4, or 5, I consider if a book is kind of 3 point whatever, that's okay, that means the book is average. It's okay. That means the majority of people still like it. It's just a very average book. But this book, I'm a little worried when a book is under 3, has a under 3-star rating on Goodreads. This has like a 2 point something, so it's very, very low on Goodreads. I don't really know why. I kind of read some reviews, and I feel like this is the type of book I need to read for myself and make up my own opinion, because there were a lot of reviews that were very, very negative, and I kind of just was like, yeah, sure, okay. Like, okay, that's your opinion, but I might not really feel that way. Kind of one of those types of things. But yeah, besides the horrible ratings and reviews on Goodreads, I still want to pick this book. I still wanted to pick this book up and read it. It's a Beauty and the Beast retelling, obviously, if you can't tell from the title, and it's by Lisa Jensen. Lisa Jensen previously wrote Elias Hook, which was a retelling of Peter Pan, but told through the perspective of Captain Hook. I love that book, you guys. I loved Elias Hook, so I was like, I gotta pick this up. Maybe this is just as good. So I guess I'll find out. I guess I'll find out if this is just as good as Elias Hook or not. And this has such a cool cover too. I really like the cover, because if you look in the rows, you can see the Beast there in the rows. I didn't even notice that at first. It took me a while to realize he was in there, but that's really cool detail. Next, The Romanov Empress by C.W. Gortner, and this is historical fiction about the mother of Tsar Nicholas II, who was the last Tsar of Imperial Russia. I'm going to try to pronounce her name. Every time I do these videos and I try to pronounce her name, you guys, I do it quite horribly. Maria Feodorovna. Maria Feodorovna. I feel like with that sounded so stupid, you guys. I feel like with Russian, you just gotta say it quickly and act like you know what you're saying. But yeah, once again, I love all things Romanov Imperial Russia. Yeah, the mother of Tsar Nicholas II. Something very different that kind of gets away from the imperial family itself, kind of focusing on another member of the family. So yeah, I am very excited to read this. I'm very positive I will love it. Next, Mother Knows Best by Serena Valentino. If you can't tell, this is a Disney book focused on Mother Gothel from Tangled with Rapunzel and whatnot. I've been slowly collecting all these books. I really like the design of them. They're just these little tiny things, and yeah, you got the villain here on the cover, but then when you open it, every book is so cool, because when you open it, like, there's another version of them under there. Like, this is Mother Gothel when she's like what she's supposed to truly look like. So that's really cool. All of the books in the series are like that. Like the Beast, there's one with the Beast, for instance, and yeah, the Beast is on the cover, but then on the underside is him as the very handsome prince, and the same with like the Snow White, the evil queen, her looking like the evil queen on the cover, but then the evil witch hag underneath that. So yeah, I love Tangled, I love Mother Gothel. I haven't even read any of these books, you guys. I've been collecting them all because they all look so cool, but I've not even read any of them. I kind of plan on getting a bunch of them at once and just kind of binging through them, because they're kind of tiny. They're very tiny, the writing's kind of large. I can probably sit and get through them very, very quickly, so I'm kind of waiting to just binge through them all, to be quite honest. Sea Witch by Sarah Henning. This is such a very beautiful cover, you guys. I love that cover. Yeah, if you can't tell, a retelling of The Little Mermaid, but told through the point of view of not Ursula. What is her name? It's not Ursula, because this is not a retelling of like the Disney Little Mermaid. This is making more of a point that this is a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's version of the story. So yeah, ever since her best friend Anna drowned, Evie has been an outcast in her small fishing town, hiding her talents, mourning her loss, drowning in her guilt. Then a girl with an uncanny resemblance to Anna appears offshore. And though the girl denies it, Evie is convinced that her best friend actually survived, that her own magic wasn't so powerless after all. And as the two girls catch the eyes and hearts of two charming princes, Evie believes that she might finally have a chance at her own happily ever after. But magic isn't kind, and her new friend has secrets of her own. She can't stay in Havenstead on her two legs. Unless Evie finds a way to help her. Now Evie will do anything to save her friend's humanity along with her prince's heart, harnessing the power of her magic, her ocean, and her love until she discovers too late the truth of her bargain. The rise of Hans Christian Andersen's iconic villainess is a heart-wrenching story of friendship, betrayal, and a girl pushed beyond her limits to become a monster. This sounds very melodramatic, but I'm probably going to really like it, you guys. Next, Sovereign by C.J. Sansom. And this is part of the Matthew Shardlake mystery series. All of these books take place in Tudor England under the reign of King Henry VIII, and they follow this detective, if you will, who's kind of part of the court, who's given the mission of like investigating various different murders and things like that. Anything kind of close to the king, you know. Yeah, which book is this? Is this like book 4? I'm not sure if this is maybe book 4 in the series. I think this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is book 4 of the series. I've been slowly kind of reading and picking up random books in the series. This is one of those series that you don't have to read in order, because I think I read the 3rd book first, and then I read the 1st book. You know, so yeah, you can go in whatever order you want. It's not confusing at all, but yeah, I love these books. They just have very, very captivating murder mysteries in them, and yeah, I love Tudor England, you guys. That makes it even more appealing to me. And yeah, in this particular installment, a plot against the throne has been uncovered, and Henry VIII has set off on a spectacular progress from London to York, along with 1,000 soldiers, the cream of the nobility, and his 5th wife, Catherine Howard, to quell his rebellious northern subjects. Awaiting his arrival are lawyer Matthew Shardlake and his loyal assistant, Jack Baroque. In addition to processing petitions to the king, Shardlake's task is to protect a dangerous conspirator until he is transported back to London for interrogation. So yeah, a lot kind of going on, and this book sounds very, very good. And the last book that I have here, I also won this on Goodreads, if you can't tell from kind of the bland cover here. You know, when I won this on Goodreads, I thought it said I was going to get an ARC edition, but a lot of times when you're given an ARC edition, sometimes the cover is still there, and this is kind of just the bland version, which I'm a little upset about, because the actual cover is beautiful, you guys. But yeah, this is The Light Between Worlds by Laura E. Weymouth. And yeah, this is, I believe this is young adult fantasy of some sort, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, just to give you a quick synopsis, 6 years ago, sisters Evelyn and Philippa Hapwell were swept away to a strange and beautiful kingdom called the Woodlands, where they lived for years. But ever since they returned to their lives in post-World War II England, they have struggled to adjust. Eve desperately wants to return to the Woodlands, and Philippa just wants to move on. When Eve goes missing, Philippa must confront the depth of her sister's despair and the painful truths that they've been running from. As the weeks unfold, Philippa wonders if Eve truly did find a way home, or if the weight of their worlds pulled her under. This YA debut by Laura E. Weymouth is perfect for fans of Melissa Albert's The Hazelwood and Lev Grossman's The Magicians. I love me The Magicians. The TV series, anyway. I've not read the books. Walking the line where fantasy and reality meets, this lyrical and magical novel is above all else an exploration of loss and healing and what it means to find where you belong. And not only is this book being compared to something like The Magicians, I guess, it was very much making me think of the Chronicles of Narnia, especially The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Yeah, because it's about, in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, it's about kids in World War II, and they're kind of sent away to get away from the war, and yeah, they find a magical wardrobe at this new house that they go to. They're sucked into a fantasy realm where they become kings and queens of Narnia. And yeah, this is kind of what this sounds like, but like after, you know, like after, like these girls, they've been in this magical kingdom and they've left it, and this is kind of what has happened after they've left it, I suppose. I guess. Does that make sense? I'm trying, you know what I'm trying to say? It makes sense to me. I'm not sure if I'm explaining it correctly. But yeah, I'm glad I won this. This sounds very, very, very good. So, yeah guys, that's it for this book haul. In the comments below, have you guys read any of these books? Do you plan on reading any of them? Any of these books that I should personally pick up quicker and get to faster, so I can tell you my thoughts about them? Just let me know. So that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you like this video, you may like these other videos. Bye guys.